Welcome back, everybody, to Monster Hunter World. We're going to take on the next two of three required Elder Dragons. We're going to start out with fighting Teostra, who I originally thought was a fight that we would do in the desert. However, he is found in the Elder's Recess. So we will be fighting him next, and then shortly after I make an adjustment to my armor, you know, for the benefit of the fight, that is, we'll fight Teostra afterwards. I'm sorry, not Teostra, Kashal Dolor. So you get these types of like little things where the huntsman's like, who's gonna bag the Teostra first, me or you? But Huntsman doesn't appear anywhere in this level. So you're not gonna bump into him looking for the Teostra. And then same thing with Kashal Dolor. You're gonna run into some dialogue from some of your fellow Fifth Fleet members. Is going, hey, we're gonna find this guy. Except you're gonna minus anyone you bring into this adventure, whether that be friends or randos, or do this on as a solo mission, which is what I'm doing. You will not be running into the hunter, you know, the wild, whatever they call them, or your other Fifth Fleet bros. Just you and your palico, or you and some randos, or you and your friends online, however you do this. If we're gonna rank Elder Dragons, these three Elder Dragons, I should say, based on preference, I prefer fighting Valhazak the most, because even though he's a pain in the ass, once you negate his major debuff, which is the effluvial thing that he does that halves your health, once you knock that out, his fight's much simpler to deal with, though he's still very difficult. Number two is Kashal Dolor. He's not as difficult, particularly if you prepare for a fight with fighting a wind ice dragon. The big problem is Teostra, because Teostra is a combination of fire and blast. And while you can negate blast, it's difficult to negate it when he turns the blast into fire. So what he'll do is, see how we have the little blue shine sprites, or whatever they call these things? Well, this type of like misty stuff appears around whenever Teostra attacks. Sometimes he'll shoot out these like little wisps of like this type of stuff. And if he chooses to light it on fire, which he doesn't always do, chooses to light it on fire, it all ignites. So it makes the battle more difficult, because you can prepare for the fire, you can prepare for blast blight, but the combination of those two is sort of, it's more difficult to elementally prepare yourself for, because you have to get yourself ready for blast blight as well as fire blight, which I know there's an thing that helps to limit or eliminate the blights, whether it be thunder blight, fire blight, but I don't have the necessary resources to make that right now. And also, I almost got turned into a crispy marshmallow. It was just fucking ridiculous, though. I mean, he's not ridiculous as impossible ridiculous. That title's held by a different monster. But you're starting to reach the point where you can, you know, right now you can still 1v1 Teostra and Kashala and some of the other monsters you fight. But this is sort of, in terms of me anyways, this is the limit by which I can do this solo But when we get past this and we start getting into harder versions of Teostra and the other Elder Dragons and powerful high-level monsters, that I can no longer solo these missions anymore. They're just, not that you can't do it, it's just they just become increasingly more impossible to do. Because the monster's doing more damage, you don't have the kind of defense that you need to necessarily get in there, particularly if the monster starts going berserk. I mean, we're doing okay right now. As you can see, he's not doing a ton of damage. But one of the fun things about fighting Elder Dragons is, and this isn't, I guess this isn't true of all of them, but in a lot of cases, the monster will start out sort of in its very simple base form. And as you get further and further down, the further into the fight, the monster gets progressively more difficult, to the point that, like, he's doing minimal damage to me now, like 1/50th or, you know, 1/40th of my health, and then we're gonna get to the point where he's gonna start doing 1/10 of my health, 1/4 of my health, maybe. I just sort of going based on memory on that one, but Kushala is very dangerous. I think he's very dangerous. I mean, obviously the damage he's dealing to me doesn't appear that way, that it's all that dangerous. You know, just obviously stay out of the fire, don't get KO'd. Heal when you get down to half health. Look for points where he's, you know, tired out or drooly or whatever. But he should click into second mode here soon. And then as he clicks into second mode, he ends up spending longer and longer in this more powered up rage state, which is obnoxious as shit. So you end up spending more time KO'd, or you spend more time with one of the blights. But yeah, this is the powered up state I was talking about. Sort of like Nergigante. He keeps building up this state, except instead of it being armor, it's this blast blight that he starts spreading all over the place. And then eventually he'll power up for one very powerful attack and explode. And when he does that, if you're too close, it will cart you. However, you can generally get away from it, particularly if you're paying attention to where he's at. But as you can see, I'm probably gonna cart here in a second, because I've used up almost all of my mega potions already. So I don't think I may have made a mistake, and I may not have brought enough. So if I'm not mistaken, Teostra has a couple breakable parts. You can break his horns. You can also cut his tail. That's a devastating attack. You can see, and that's a cart. Doesn't take much. You can see, I lined myself up in the wrong position for that fire breath that he just blew at me. He did it somewhere in the ballpark of like, what? I don't know. 15 to 20%. And that was enough to stun me. And when you're in stun mode, you take extra damage. I wouldn't say double damage, but you take extra damage. And, yeah. It fucking sucks. So, he's tough. I'm wearing the Dodogaron helm in the hope to, well, that along with one of my Azure Star-Lord things that negates the Blast Blight, but doesn't negate Fire Blight. So I'm sort of seeing if I have the ability to negate fire. Unfortunately, fire defense isn't going to protect me from fire blight. As you can see, it gives you extra fire resistance, which is great, but the defense that I have right now and the defensive jewel's not necessarily going to offset that, particularly if it's physical damage. And I have some sort of blight reducing thing, but I don't have anything that will cancel it out. You see, reduces the duration of elemental blight by 50%, which means that instead of rolling 3 times, you have to roll twice. And then if you get to level 2, you only have to roll once, and then obviously I would be blast or blight proof if I got to level 3. So I did make another mistake here, as you can probably see. I should have packed myself some large barrel bombs and extra large barrel bombs to ensure that if I get him down to a state where he's asleep, I can load up on barrel bombs. When you eat the second time, it's not nearly as lucrative as the first. You can see, don't get as many feline skills. I got the extra stamina, but I didn't get the extra health on that one. So it's not as lucrative if you cart. If you don't cart, sort of the long story short on that. And then I got a reproc mega armor skin and mega demon whatever. Demon fighting robot power. I was looking at, I was sort of perusing some of the higher level weapons. After the level that I currently have my weapons at, as well as some of the gems that I haven't fully unlocked yet. And almost all of them, in some way, shape, or form, take either generic or specific Elder Dragon material. So, like, for instance, there's a whole set of armor called the Damascus armor that takes Elder Dragon blood. And then there is another one that's like a bone armor. Maybe that's the Damascus one. Anyways, one of them takes the Elder Dragon bones and the other one takes an Elder Dragon blood. And these guys don't drop their blood and such as much as, I mean, it's a generic material. So if you're looking for it, it's easier. You could fight a Teostra, you could fight a Kashal Galore, you could fight Nergigante again to get the material. So it's not specific to any individual Elder Dragon, but you'll still have to fight an Elder Dragon to get it, obviously. So, a lot of my battles with lower level monsters, even like the Pig Wraithian, Azure Rathalos. Yeah, that's the explosion I was talking about. I got out of the way for, luckily. Anytime Teostra goes off the ground, it's time to run away. The little sparkle thing you saw there, that's the last blight I was talking about. If you're in it, you better run away from it. If you're out of it, you can generally sneak between the different areas. There's like safe areas that you can stand in. That doesn't require you to just fucking get completely out of Teostra's area. But if he... Yep, that's the other attack, is this dive bomb attack, which is kind of devastating. Tail swipe's okay. He's got to get underneath his grundle to evade it. Provided he's this size. If he's a smaller Teostra, you might not be able to get under his grundle far enough. So you can see, okay, how about to say I'm in the KO'd state, trying to get away from him right now so I don't take blast. Also trying to slide down and jump on him again. Don't think I'm going to be able to do that though. What else? I need to sharpen, that's the other thing. Difficult because I should have sharpened earlier when I had the ability to do so. When Teostra runs away again and I do enough damage to him, or if I cart, which I don't want to do. So you can see the little blast blade stuff that he's throwing out there. He can choose to light it on fire, or he can choose to let it dissipate. And generally it's based on his preference, so if you happen to be standing in it, he's going to ignite it, and if you're not, he's probably not going to. What else? So he flew away there, that's fine. Don't care about him flying away. But if he goes up in the sky, you have to be aware whether he's coming down to dive bomb you, he's powering up for that big explosion attack, or what the story is there. So sloosh, sloosh. This is the area I was in previously is sort of advantageous to myself. Like I have the upper hand in it. This area is bringing us back into Teostra's preferred area. It's fire-based, sort of limited in your ability. You can't slide here. You're kind of limited in the space if he corners your ass. And now I'm bouncing off of him, even though I'm in blue sharpness. There it is. I somehow managed to roll dodge that, I guess. That should have killed me. So one of the things that I'm finding sort of obnoxious about some of these later monsters we've been fighting is that early on what you would do is you would do your full, you would do like a, you jump on them like this and you do full discharge, which is what I just did there. A lot of the later monsters are not allowing me to do that anymore. They're basically saying, if you grab onto me and try to do your full discharge, I will drop your ass before you finish your full discharge. So yeah. Smash, smash, smash. Yeah, I got stunned there. I'm probably gonna die. Alright, we lived. So that's how quickly you can go. You can go from full life down to nothing. Just a couple attacks.
Powerful type of slinger ammo. They say it's strong enough to take out elder dragons.
Alright, we gotta go up here and sharpen our sword.